Welcome back to the class. Today's concept is commerce and the classification of commerce. We know that business activities are classified into two broad categories. Number one is industry and number two is commerce. So in the last class, we had gone through various activities of industry. Industry is a part of business. So what is called industry? Industry is the process of converting raw materials into finished goods. Or industries are those group of firms which produces or manufacturing similar kind of goods and services called industries. And also we will discuss many types of industries like primary industry, secondary industry and tertiary industries. Now we are going to discuss the second part of business activity, that is commerce. So in the beginning class only, when I have taken introductory class, that I told you what is the meaning of commerce and which are the activities involved in the concept of commerce. Then what do you mean by commerce? Commerce is the process of distributing goods and services from producer to consumers called commerce. Right? So normally commerce is the continuation part of your industry. Correct? So we know that industry, different industries, there are different industries and each industry produces kind of goods and also services. For example, primary industry produces finished goods, one kind of goods which will be the raw material for secondary industries, and tertiary industries always provides different kind of assistance or services to the primary as well as secondary industries. Correct? And what we have produced called, which is used or which is able to consume directly or which is able to use directly, the goods are produced in secondary industries. Correct? So the goods or the services which produced in secondary industry, it has to be reached to the ultimate customers or consumers. Correct? So every industrialist, every businessman or every group of firms, they produce n number of goods or variety of goods and services according to the taste and preference of the consumers or maybe demand factor of the market only. Correct? So once they produced, production of goods and services finished, and at last stage it should be delivered or it should be reached to the ultimate consumers or customers, right? So in order to reach that goods which produced in secondary or primary, we use the concept or we taken the help of your concept called commerce only. So commerce always helps to distribute goods and services which produced in primary or secondary industry. So that is why I can say business is equal to industry plus commerce. Correct? Business means it is an activity which deals with the purchases, production as well as exchange of goods and services. Correct? So business is nothing but production of goods and services and also exchanging same or selling same to the different people called consumers or customers with the amount of profit or with the amount of monetary gain. So that is why business is equal to industry plus commerce. So industry we have finished. Usually industries, they will not sell the goods directly to the consumers. Through commerce process only, through commerce step or activity only, it will be distributed to different marketers or different market as well as to the consumers and customers. So that is why commerce is nothing but it is about distribution of goods and services. Correct? It is the process of transferring that goods or reaching that goods from producer to right industry to consumers or customers or commerce activities. So normally, which are the activities will be done in industry? if it will be completed, the objectives of industries will be finished or completed or successful after the process of commerce. So that is why commerce is the process of distributing the goods and services from industry or from producer to different consumers or customers. Normally, it provides link between producer as well as the consumers, right? So industries produces heavy amount of goods and services or large amount of goods and services, and no customers or no consumers purchase large amount of goods and services directly from the producers, right? So through commerce only producer as well as consumers need to meet there, right? So that is why commerce provides always link between the producer as well as the consumers, and also it helps to make here easy flow of goods and services between many producers as well as the consumers, and also it reduces many hindrances means here problems. Okay, so both marketers means both producers as well as who consumers or customers, they may face many hindrances means hurdles or problems or risks. For example, as a customer, if I have money, sometimes I'm not able to get that needy product whichever I want, correct? So because of many reasons, because of maybe transportation, because of finding no suitable producers in the market, or because of some less quality or quantity. So because of many reasons, there are many, because of less safety or because of many middlemen. So because of many reasons, the producers as well as the consumers may face hindrances, and those hindrances which removed by here process called commerce. So this is about meaning as well as the concept of commerce. Again, the commerce divided into two categories: trade as well as the auxiliaries to trade. Right? So briefly, I have explained the same in the beginning class, because commerce is nothing but studies of these two. Correct? Whichever the subjects you may have, by the business studies or maybe the accountancy or maybe in your degree level, that insurance, banking, marketing, human resource management, or with the export management, trading activities, economics, statistics. So there are many subjects you may study in commerce stream. Actually, it's all about that commerce only. So that is why commerce is equal to trade plus auxiliaries to trade. There is no confusion here. Business is equal to industry plus commerce, and commerce is equal to trade plus auxiliaries to trade. These two are the major two broad categories of commerce. Okay, we discuss one by one here. Trade. And again, I'm telling you, even commerce, separate commerce also will be asked for long answer section. Okay, 8 mark section. So that is why these also very important. We need to explain, we need to read, thoroughly or in elaborate manner. So what is the trade here? In the beginning class only I told you, and it is very simple. Everybody knows what is called trade. So trade is nothing but exchange of goods and services between the persons. Correct? What is trade here? It is buying as well as selling of goods and services. For example, if I am the consumer, I go to the market, find the seller, correct? Find the supplier and purchasing, and the same way, producer or seller find the customers and selling same into into many customers. So these two interactions, these two activities combinedly called here trading activities. So trade is nothing but buying and selling of goods and services. And trade are classified into two types again. There is no much things about trade. That is very simple, and all are connected to commerce industries only. So there is no, it is after the production, it will be delivered into the market through different salesmen, through different wholesalers, through different retailers, or through different marketers. And marketers or sellers, the last sellers will find the customers or consumers in the market and selling it directly to them and earning some amount of margin profit called trading activities. There is no much other things to explain in trading activities. So trade are classified into two types. One is internal trade and the second one is external trade, correct? Internal trade and external trade. So what do you mean by internal trade? Internal trade is the trade where the goods and services are exchanged or that trading activities taken place within the geographical boundaries of a nation called internal trade. Right? For example, if this is the nation called India, if the trading activities are between states or maybe within the geographical areas or boundaries of particular nation, then called internal trade. Correct? So the trading activities can be done between here different states or different districts or different locality, different areas, but it should be within the boundaries of particular nation or one nation. So for example, the trading activities between Gujarat and Karnataka, Goa and Karnataka, Karnataka as well as Bihar, or Karnataka, Rajasthan, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, the activities that I told you is called national trade or maybe trading activities between the states. Even if you go somewhere, if you go Kundapur and find the retailer purchasing something is also called one of the example for internal trade. So internal trade are again classified into or maybe internal trade consists two kinds of trade. One is wholesale trade, that you can see here, and second one is retail trade. Retail trade. So what is called wholesale trade? That all you people aware of it here. What is called wholesale trade? Normally you people say at home. So like whether it is wholesale or maybe retail, such a way you talk at home, correct? About the trading activity. So simple. What do you understand about wholesale trade? The same meaning we have here. So remember, wholesale trade is nothing but if the buying and selling of goods and services comparatively high quantity, then called wholesale trade. Right? So normally, wholesaler trader will not sold goods to directly to the consumer. I think you get the point here. Wholesaler never be sell the goods here to the consumers directly. So one more party will be there because that wholesale traders always purchases as well as sell the goods comparatively in high quantity. So that is why last consumers, final customers, they won't purchase the goods in a bulk quantity. Maximum we may take here rice or wheat, some grocery items for a month or maybe for 2-3 months, not more than of that, isn't it? So that is why we have to purchase not from the wholesalers, from another person only, like retailers or any shops. However, wholesale trade is nothing but purchasing as well as selling of goods and services in comparatively high quantity or more quantity or big quantity, then called wholesale trade. Right? And second one is retail trade. Retail trade or retail trade is a kind of internal trade where the goods and services are purchased or sold comparatively less quantity. Right? Normally, we people used to go here retailer only, and retailer will sell the goods and services directly to the final consumers because the final consumers always purchases, always buy less quantity of goods and services. So these two are called here types of internal trade. So wholesale trade and retail trade. So I hope you understand. This is the concept of first type of trade called internal trade. And coming to the next point called external trade. One more trade. This is called the trading activities within the nation or within the boundaries of a country. And second one is external trade. External, it is out of the boundary, correct? Out of the nation. So very simple. International trade is also called external trade. And remember students, internal trade is also called domestic trade or home trade. But I forgot to say that internal trade is also called home trade or domestic trade. So here is external trade. External trade is also called international trade. International trade. So what is that? It is completely the opposite of internal trade. So if the trading activity is taken place without or maybe out of the geographical boundaries of a nation, that means nothing but here if the trading activity is taken place between two or more than two countries, then called international trade or external trade. If the trading activity is taken place between India and China, India and Australia, India and Canada, India and Singapore, India and Malaysia, India and Japan. So these two transactions, if that trading activity is taken place, then called external trade. Even with one transaction, I think, or maybe we can say that more than two countries also can be involved. So all those things called external trade only. Here the point is goods or services. Either goods or services need to be exchanged or transferred from one country to another country. This is the point here. And one more thing is the types of external trade. There are three types. Normally, you people know export and import, but we have one more type of external trade also. Anyway, we'll discuss one by one. Three types of external trade. There are three categories of external trade. Number one is export. Number two is import. Number three is intraport. ENTREPOT, intraport trade. So what is called export? Very simple, correct? So from India, if we sell the goods, sold goods to any other country, foreign countries, that transaction or trading activity is called export. This is India to Singapore, India to China, India to Australia. If India sell the goods and services or providing services to other foreign country called export, right? It is called selling. And import called it is purchasing, right? If India is purchased goods from other foreign country, say from China or from Australia or from Singapore or any country, right? Any other country, then the transaction called import trade. And one more is called intraport trade. So here, to do this transaction, to perform the activity under intraport trade, there should be minimum three countries. How many countries we need here to perform or to furnish this intraport trade? Three countries we required, but in case of export as well as import, only two countries. Minimum two countries. Maximum maybe more than two countries also. But in case of intraport trade, minimum three countries are required. What is called intraport trade? It is the combination of import as well as export. Right? In case of intraport trade, a company will import the goods first, will purchase the goods first from one country, and for the purpose of here sending same or selling same into another country, means to the second country. For us it is second country, totality in total third country, correct? So that kind of transaction are called here intraport trade. So let me say example, India, for example, petroleum goods, right? So normally we know that Iran have abundant number of or amount of petroleum goods. Nothing but here that oils, petrol or diesel or kerosene or any other kind of oils, correct? So Iran. So let me say one example for intraport trade. For example, India, Iran, as well as one more country called Bangladesh. Correct. So as we all know that Iran has abundant number of petroleum goods. Correct. So what India will do means India will purchase the petroleum goods from Iran first, right? And same it will be sold into Bangladesh or be any other country, Singapore or Malaysia, right? So if any country purchases goods from one more country for the purpose of here selling same into another country, not for the use of their personal consumption, not for their own country consumption, then called intraport trade. ENTREPOT, intraport trade. So these are the three types of external trade or international trade. External trade is also called international trade. So this is about trading activities. Remember students, commerce, types of commerce. First is the trade. Trade classified into two broad categories. Number one is internal trade and second one is external trade. Correct? Internal trade are classified again into two types. One is wholesale trade and second one is retail trade. And second one is external trade. Under that, export trade, import trade and intra-port trade. These are the categories or classification of trade. Next, coming to the next point is called auxiliaries to trade. So one more point also included in trading activities, commerce activities called auxiliaries to trade. So in the beginning only, I told you that commerce is always a combination of trade plus auxiliaries to trade. Without auxiliaries, we cannot perform here trading activities well. I cannot say well, we cannot be performed. It is impossible to perform trading activities without the help of auxiliaries to trade. Right? So I told you, industries delivers goods and services to the trading organization or trading department. So trading department will distribute that goods and services to the consumers. How can they distribute here? How can they exchange? How can they sell here? So by using the auxiliaries to trade, correct? So auxiliaries to trade are the major category of our commerce concept or commerce activity. So let me discuss first what is the meaning of auxiliaries to trade. So auxiliaries to trade is the trading activity or maybe commerce. It is a type of commerce which provides always assistance or helps or maybe services to trading activities, right? To perform trading activities well, we require some services, we require some assistance, we require some helps. Those helps are nothing but here auxiliaries. So auxiliaries means subsidiaries or services to trade or assistance to trade. So without auxiliaries to trade, without that helps of trade, so trading activities cannot be performed. And there are many auxiliaries trade which connected to the trading activities, but of many we have given 5 only. So syllabus point of view, we need to discuss here only 5 types of or 5 categories of auxiliaries trade. Actually, there are many assistance required for the trading activities, but anyway, we will discuss only these 5. Okay, so I take one by one here. First auxiliaries trade. Remember students, these are services which is compulsory to perform the trading activities. They are so called helps or assistance of trading activities. First one is transportation. What is that point here? Transportation and communication. So without transportation, without communications, it is impossible to finish or perform trading activity. Transportation is very important. Even though communication and transportation both are very important. Then how the transportation is important? So let me say one example. Tea is highly produced in the state called Assam, and cotton is highly produced, mainly produced in Maharashtra and also in Gujarat, and sugar is mainly produced in Uttar Pradesh, and jute is mainly produced in Maharashtra. Correct. So normally tea, cotton, sugar, jute, etc. These are mainly produced in like Assam, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh. Even in Maharashtra, jute also produced in Odisha, etc. But still, if we go market, if we go to the market, we can have all kind of goods and services, right? So tea or cotton or sugar or jute or any other kind of activities, these all are abundantly or highly available in our local market also. And major thing is it may produced or originated in different states also. Assam, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, or maybe the Odisha, etc., West Bengal, etc., etc. Right? So they are actually much far from our country or our state or our local, but still we are getting the same goods and service in our local market. It is because of transportations, correct? To make trading activities easy, without a transportation, it is very difficult to distribute the goods and services. So, commerce, what is called here? Distribution of goods and services. So, without a transportation, without this auxiliaries to trade, commerce or maybe trading activities is nil. Correct? So, to transfer or to shift or to exchange goods from one place to another place, correct, to make available all kind of goods and services throughout the country, right, point of each state or point of each local market, the transportation is important. So normally the way of transportations are called, like we can use roadways or railways or with the airways or maybe also marine ways, right? So these are the major ways of transportation can be used here for transferring goods from one place to another place or from production place to market place. So this is the use of transportations to the trading activities. Next is the communications. Of course, without communications, the trading activities cannot be performed. Right? So always or regularly, the informations about the product need to be exchanged between producers or wholesalers or retailers and also consumers or customers. Right? If about the product, the information if it is exchanged between all those people smoothly or regularly or with good flow, then only trading activities can be performed or trading activities can be done. Otherwise, if there is no communications, for the producer also it is difficult, even for we people, even for the consumers or customers also difficult, because we may not be knowing here or we may not know here what kind of goods are available in the market, right? What are the features of those market, where it is available, and which country produced that varieties of goods and services. So, as a customer, as a consumer, we need regular information about our product, our native product. Correct? So, as a customer, I have to use many kind of goods and services, and it need to be purchased by by going to the market. So that is why communication is from the point of view of consumer as well as traders, means producer, communication taken very important place, like telephone or emails or internet or the postal services. These are the different methods of communication activities. So finally, transportation and communication takes very important role in the trading activities, called one of the auxiliaries to trade. I hope you understand what is the need of transportation as well as the communication. And the second one is called banking and finance. So I take first finance. You all know that finance is the lifeblood of every business. For human, how blood works actually in our body, right? The same way finance works in business, right? Like in our for human being, how body is actually like for the business that activity, correct? So how the blood is work in human body, the same way for the business here that money is works, right? So body is equal to business and blood is equal to finance. So that is why finance is called lifeblood of every business, right? And finance is required or needed for every stage in the activities of the business concern. Like there are three stages we can categorize for the need of finance or money to the business organization. Like first one is at the initial stage, right? To start the company, we required heavy amount of money, right? To purchase the raw materials, to purchase the assets called fixed asset or current asset, or to meet the legal requirements, which the documentations or with the legal permissions, what the cost will be incurred. So all those things called the expenses or the amount of money which needed at the initial stage called the first stage, and the second or middle is called the operational level. Operational level means here running of business. Again, they have to purchase here like raw materials or current assets or minimum bank balance we have to keep there, and many other things. Correct. And third is called actually like for the trading activities, like as I told, transportations, communications, or maybe for insurance purpose or salary purpose, advertisement purpose. They all are here last stage of required money which connected to the business activities. So it means in each and every activities what a business can be performed with help means here finance only. So for every activities what we require means finance or money. So finance is much needed and it is required to purchase the current asset or fixed asset or properties or to meet daily expenses, to give the salary, to pay the taxes, and for every day, right? Day to day, for day to day activities, you require what called money only. So money is important, and we know that money is normally provided by the sector called banking. So banking and finance. So both are major auxiliaries to trade for every activity, even from the production till the end of the year, delivering that into the final customers. Everything will be done here with the help of money only. So that is why banking sector always gives much support to the business in the way of giving finance. Correct. So banking, of course, there are many kinds of loans and advance will be given here, like short-term loan or medium-term loan, or as well as the long-term loan. Medium-term loan means here small amount of money which need to be paid here within the year. Maximum is will be 1 year, up to 1 year. Maximum within 1 year you have to pay that amount of money, and comparatively it is less amount of money, less size amount of money. And second one is middle, means medium term loan. It is about 1 to 5 years, right? The payment period is about 1 to 5 years. Within 5 years, if you have condition to pay that amount of money, and comparatively it is less than your long term amount and more than the or big than here that short term amount. So that is also one more is long term loan. Long term loan is here normally to purchase the fixed asset. What is the heavy amount of required here? Requirement for the organization. These will be made with the long-term fund only. So long-term fund or long-term finance is the heavy amount of money which can be paid here, like for the more period, for more period of time, or many period of time, say for example 10 years or 20 years, 25 years, till that period, if you have time to repay that amount by installment, then called long-term loans. So medium-term loan, long-term loan, and short-term. So all kind of loans are here provided, which helps or which gives more benefits for the trading activities. And nowadays, banking sectors is not only providing various terms loan here or various loans to the organizations, and also giving many facilities like bank overdraft, right? BOD facility or check facility, demand draft facility, different cards facility, ATM card, debit card, credit card, etc. NEFT, RTGS, correct? So these are the checks facility. So these are the major remittance fund. So all those categories of services here are facilities also given by here banking sector to the organizations or maybe the customer of the bank. So this is the need of auxiliaries to trade. And number 3 is insurance. Of course, for trading activities, nowadays much needed auxiliaries to trade called insurance only. So what is called insurance? Insurance is nothing but taking policy from the insurance company which covers risk against or which covers safety against any risk of the product or trading activities, then called insurance. So normally, if you take insurance policy from the insurance company, regularly you have to pay some amount of money called premium, right? And which are the risks may be covered for the product or your trading activities called your goods may be lost here out of theft or due to fire attack or due to accident or any reason for the damage, right? So if that uncertainty or problems or kind of risk happens for your trading activities, of course insurance company will provide you here compensation. So that is why without insurance your trading activities is incomplete, can be incomplete. So that is why insurance is much needed, which always provides you safety against various risks which covered in the trading activities. So theft or maybe the fire attack or accident or anything. Right? There are many reasons due to natural calamities, product also maybe get damaged. Correct? So these are the major risks which covered here for trading activities, and all those things can be easily covered or all those things can be easily compensated with taking auxiliary trade called insurance. And number 4 is warehousing. What is that here? Number 4 is warehousing. Of course, normally every industries, every company will produce the goods and service in a bulk order. Correct. So normally what happens means before producing the goods and services, the marketer or the producer will collect the taste and preferences or demand of the particular market or group of customers, right? So the area, territory may be different here, like a group of different markets. A state can be taken as base, or the whole country can be taken, or a small locality can be taken here, right? So the thing is, before producing goods and services by any producer or any company, so they collect taste and preferences, nothing but demand of the particular market or demand of the particular group of customers. Then only they go for producing the goods. And also production of goods and services will be done here in heavy quantity or larger quantity, right? So one thing is, if they produce small amount of money, a small amount of goods and services, it is very difficult to meet the demand of the market with a shorter period. One thing. And second one is like a small amount of quantity of goods producing every day. It is also not worthy or work out for the organization. So for that reasons, what they normally do by organization called at a time only. So in single time only, they produce heavy amount of goods and services, which helps to reduce the cost of the product, and also easily we can meet the heavy demand of the particular market. Right? If there is good demand, if suddenly demand comes to your product, if we have goods keep ready in our storage or our company, then easily can be delivered, easily can be reached into the market or to the customer. So for that reasons, one more auxiliary is required called the warehousing. Warehousing is nothing but storage facilities, or in simple term we can say store or godown. Right? Godown or storage is the facility or auxiliaries to trade which helps to store the goods and services, correct? So keep the goods and services in a heavy quantity, and that can be easily supplied for the different markets in a single time or within shorter period of time, and it helps in different areas. One is it decreases the or it reduces the cost of goods, cost of productions, and also in a single time within shorter period of time we can easily meet the heavy demand of the particular market. Correct? So this is the major thing. Even we may not be facing shortage of raw materials. Correct? Sometimes there may be a scarcity of raw material also. If we purchase raw materials in bulk and producing it and delivered into different markets, so then will be the smooth flow of activities or smooth run of activities, correct? So that is why for that reason warehouse is important. Even though if there is no demand in a single time also, we can keep that goods and service in a safety manner in the by using warehouse, correct? And when the demand comes, and it can be easily delivered into the market, right? So even though if we have not maintained warehouse facilities well, then it is very difficult to meet the demand. Correct? And normally the customers they won't wait for the late product delivery. Correct? Immediately. If we want goods now and it should be taken immediately, right? No customer will be wait for the production of goods and reaching into the customers. That is why called warehouse is also important. The last one is called advertisement. Right? So nowadays, every product which requires advertisement to promote as well as to sell in the particular market. Right? So that is why advertisement is also highly used for the or used as auxiliaries to trade. So then what is called advertisement? Advertisement is nothing but it is the method of promoting the goods and services or introducing the goods and services which helps to influence every class of customers or consumers to purchase immediately. Correct? So called advertisement. Nowadays, every kind of goods, some kind of eatable things like chocolates, bakery items, snacks, etc. Even every electronic items like TV, refrigerator, or maybe many things, right? Mobile phones, etc. Even electrical goods, even garments, even automobiles, right? From a small amount, from 50 paise chocolate and to that 5 crore amount of car or any vehicles. So we required advertisement only to purchase that, to influence the minds of the consumer. So that is why advertisement also taken very important role in the process of trading activities and taken as one of the major auxiliaries to trade. So remember students, transportation and communication, banking and finance, insurance, warehousing, advertisement, these are the 5 auxiliaries to trade. Without those auxiliaries to trade, trading activities cannot be performed. And also, I can conclude here that commerce activities by explaining few things called that auxiliaries to trade. As I told in the beginning, that auxiliaries to trade which removes many hindrances or any problems. What does it actually here? These auxiliaries to trade always helps to remove many hindrances. Hindrances means problems. Normally, producer as well as the customer facing many problems or hurdles in the market. Correct? Or in the trading activities. And this all those things here removed, all those things here taken back with the help of auxiliaries to trade. So normally, which are the problems over here? Number one is time. Time hindrances. Time hindrances means, for example, if we want goods immediately, then we can be purchased immediately also by going to the market, right? So the thing is here, if we want any product, usually we go market and have it or purchasing it. Correct? So this is called actually time utility. Yes or no? Right? So if we require any goods, if we need any goods, as a customer, we have a mindset like that here. Immediately we have to purchase it. Immediately we have to get it. Yes or no? So this is actually possible because of warehousing. Right? If the company have warehouse facility, then the producer can maintain or satisfy the time utility of the individual or time utility of the consumer. Right? One point. And second one is place. So customer or producer also facing one of the problem called place, and this can be here removed. This hindrance can be removed by here transportations. Correct? So transportation. So because of transportations, we no need to go there Assam or Uttar Pradesh or Bihar or Odisha. And because of transportation, all goods are come to our place only. So place problem, place hindrance can be removed by which auxiliary to transportation. Next is risk. We all have risk, right? The producer or customer need to face some risk in trading activities. It can be easily removed without the fear, right? Without ambiguity, without tension, without anxiety, without the fear. We can easily have the product. We can easily get the product here because of that insurance which removes the hindrance like risk. And next one is, what is that? Advertisement. Advertisement always gives you here information. Correct. So advertisement always helps you here information. Information hindrances will be removed by advertisement. Advertisement is always gives you better information about the product, and there is no chance of here taking or getting lack of information about the product. Nowadays, all the advertisement giving you best information about the product. This information hindrance can be removed by advertisement. And one more is the banking. Banking always removes the hindrance of finance. For the customer as well as for the consumer, finance is very important, and we can easily purchase the goods and services. And because of banking sectors also, banking sectors will provide you many kind of loans and advances, and through that or because of that or with the help of banking sectors, we can easily have finance and also purchasing the trading activities or purchasing the goods and services. So these all points, transportation, banking, insurance, warehouse and advertisement, all points here, which provides you for the removal of some hindrances. Place, time, risk, information and finance. These are the major hindrances we are facing, and we can be easily removed by each of the auxiliaries to trade. So this is about classification of commerce. So I repeat here, commerce classified into two types, trade and auxiliaries to trade. Trade classified into two types, internal trade and external trade. Internal, wholesale and retail. External, import, export as well as the intra-port. And auxiliaries to trade, there are 5 auxiliaries to trade. One is transportation and communication, banking and finance, third one is insurance, number 4 is warehousing, the last one is advertisement. Right? So this is about classification of commerce. So this is about classification of commerce.